BookTube, it's Louise, the big head bookworm. How are you? Are you well today? Are you having a good week? I'm having a very good week. I am having a lovely week. And one of the reasons I'm having a lovely week is that I've got all these lovely new books that I want to show you. Oh yes, I'm here to do my September book haul. Oh, they are lovely. There will be a book here that you will go, oh, I want. How come you got there first? That's what you're going to say. And the other reason that I'm having a very good week is I passed that rather large BookTube / YouTube subscriber count of 1,000. Can you believe that? I know. Both of us thought it was just me doing this bit and you doing that bit. We just thought it was going to be the two of us, didn't we? I mean, it just stunned me. Absolutely stunned me. Last week, two very, very lovely booktubers gave the channel name a bit of a shout out, gave it a bit of an airing. And some people came along and said, oh, actually, I quite like the look of your books. And I think you're grand. So we'll subscribe. Well, I say, hello to everybody. Stunned, absolutely stunned. I don't think I've ever spoken about it on BookTube, but when I first started the channel, you don't know how it's going to go, do you? You don't know how it's going to go. And you hear about all those scare stories, and I just thought, ooh, should I? But I thought, no, I'll give it a go. Got to try these things, haven't you? And I thought I'd give myself a stretch target, aim high. If you aim for the moon, you might get the stars instead, or whatever that phrase is, that wonderfully well-known phrase is. So I gave myself quite a large target of 30. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, really? Yes, I thought there was a possibility that there could be 30 people out there, if necessary, all members of my family, that would subscribe. So I spoke about it with the husband, and he was like, well, it's good to give yourself a target, and as long as you know that even if you don't get there, you've done your best, and that's all that matters, and that's all we can ask of you is that you do your best. And obviously, he was going to email all of his friends and say, subscribe. So that was really pleased. We thought we'd do that. So when I got to 30, I was stunned. So you can imagine, wide-eyed, mouth open in shock we were when I saw we'd gone over 1,000. I mean, Agatha, lovely Agatha, she always had her faith in me. She's always been there. You've always been there, haven't you, Agatha? But it's been stunning. So thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed and has left comments and all of that. It's been fabulous. So I'm having a very good week, as you can imagine. So the husband said, well, how shall we celebrate? And I was like, well, we better do something good. And he's like, well, that's what I thought. And so I said, yes, let's go to Cambridge and you can buy me a nice new book. Looking at his face, I'm not sure he had that in mind. Still, he was up for it, which was good. And so we went to Cambridge and I went book buying. So the first one, I chose this. I don't know why. It wasn't on my wish list or anything like that, but I do love myself a spy thriller. And I've been thinking a lot about them recently because I'm a huge Bond fan and I'd read that Bond. And I thought, right, and I didn't know where to get myself a Bond. Casino Royale was looking rather tempting. Or to get this. And I read the back of this and I remember this coming out. I'm sure I remember this coming out. And I thought, I do remember it coming out. And I thought, I've never read it. I've read John le Carré before, but I've never read this. And it's quite a lovely chunky book. And I'm really in the mood for a spy thriller at the moment. And I've got to give it a go. And it's a lovely, lovely vintage edition. Vintage? No, Scepter edition. And I thought, I've got to do it. So there we are. So that's what I got. So the husband treated me to John le Carré's The Perfect Spy. It's about a spy doing spy things, which is what I like a spy book to be about. I like a spy book to be about a spy doing spy things, and that's what it's about. So the other book that I was tempted by was Casino Royale by Ian Fleming, but I chose that one instead. And what I didn't realise was the husband had slipped this one in as well. So I did actually get Casino Royale by Ian Fleming, which is the first James Bond. Now, I have actually already read this. And no spoilers. Oh, it's marvellous. Oh, it's so good. Not giving anything away there. But so I'm so pleased. So this will go next to Moonraker, and I'm going to start collecting these because they're so great. So yes, Casino Royale by Ian Fleming, the first James Bond. So look at that. That's a good start. I could stop here and we would both be satisfied. But oh no, there is more. The other thing that we saw was Uprooted by Nina Leon, which we hadn't seen before, On the Trail of the Green Man. The Green Man is a pagan image icon obsession of ours. We actually have an image of the Green Man that we have in our garden at all times, and this is about Nina's obsession about the Green Man, and she wrote this book, and it is such a beautiful book. I mean, the cover alone is enough that I just went, yeah, and showed it to the husband, and he went, yep, that's fine, we'll get this. So, an encounter with the Green Man at an ancient Hereford church in the wake of a catastrophic weather leads Nina Leon on the search to track him down. So he's in a lot of churches. When the Christians came and brought their religion, or when the Romans came and brought Christianity, and Christianity came through the lands, one of the icons that they tried to get rid of was the Green Man, but he creeps in everywhere. So it'll be a fascinating book. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. I bought the second book in this series, Paula Weston's Hazed. So I read the first one, Shadows, which I read on my Kindle, because I could only see that you could get it on the Kindle, and since then I have seen that you can actually get a physical copy of it. So I might do that because it's one of those that I'm going to reread again, and I prefer rereading. If I'm going to have a series, I think I prefer them in physical form. I always prefer them in physical form anyway. But yes, I thought I would get the second one. So this is Hazed. So it's the Watchers set in modern day Australia in the surfing community. It's very good. I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to the second one. They're lovely quick reads. They're fun quick reads, so I'm going to go for that. When I was down in Cornwall for my holiday, we visited the Eden Project, which is, let me read it. From the sterile depths of a disused china clay pit in Cornwall rose one of the most remarkable and ambitious ventures in recent memory. The Eden Project biomes, the world's largest conservatories, are the symbols of a living theatre of plants and people and their interdependence, of regeneration, and of a pioneering forum for the exploration of possible future. Reading that, I'm wondering whether there's going to be quite a lot of long sentences in this book. But Tim Schmidt, Lord Tim Schmidt, as he is now, he is Lord? Yes, he is Lord, is one of the founders of the Eden Project. And we go there every time we go down to Cornwall. We have done for years and years and years. We took Benedict when he was like 9 months as his first go to the Eden Project. So he's been going for years and years and years. It's about their philosophy is reusing, renewables. It's about looking after the plant life around us, looking at what plants give us and what we can give plants, and how to celebrate them. So it's fantastic. So this is the book about how it started, how the idea came about, and how they've worked at it. And even better, it's got pictures in. So that's going to be a great, fascinating read. I've always wanted to know, even though I've seen it develop, I've always wanted to know more details about it. I wanted to know the history of it. So I'm really pleased with that. A subscriber called Crazy for Books, said, have you ever tried any Charles Todd? His Bess Crawford mysteries? And I said, no. Well, no, I'd never heard of Charles Todd. Now, Charles Todd is a mother and son writing team. They live in Delaware and North Carolina. Well, I never. Well, Nikki French is husband and wife. The crime writer Nikki French is husband and wife. I've met them, actually. And but I don't think I've read, and I've read James S. Corey, who Leviathan Wakes. That's a duo that writes together. Apparently Charles Todd is as well. So this is a murder mystery set in the Great War, just after the Great War. So 1920s time. How fantastic is that? And Bess Crawford is our sleuth, I gather. I know no more than that, and I'm quite happy to go for it. So I ordered this in. I managed to get it really reasonable, and it said used, but it's looking fantastic. Fantastic condition, so chuffed to pieces. So there we go. Looking at the time, let me carry on a bit faster. So I was in a charity shop the other day, oh no, a couple of weeks ago actually, I lied then, a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking at it, no word of a lie, this is what happened. I was browsing the shelves, and I was thinking to myself, you never really see science fiction or fantasy in the charity shops around here. Obviously, the people around here hold their science fiction close to their chests, and they don't give them away. You know, you see 50 Shades and you see Twilight everywhere, but you don't see science fiction very often. And then the next moment, my eyes fell upon this, and so for 50p, I got, are you ready? Wow. Oh my. I got this. I was like, that's Brandon Sanderson. That's The Way of the Kings. I haven't got that. And it's, look at that. I mean, it's a behemoth, isn't it? It's huge. So this is The Way of the Kings. This is his grand epic. This is book one, isn't it? Is this book one? Yes, this is the Stormlight Archive, book one. I don't know how many are out, but I know it's a bit of an undertaking. But I'm not afraid of that. It's it's about 1,000 pages. It looks quite dense as well. But oh, look, 50p. That is the bargain of the month. I claim the bargain of the month. Done. You can all stop looking now because I've got it. I got it. 50p. What? But I'll be going back to that charity shop again. How pleased was I? So yes, at some point, once I've read Mistborn, is my Mistborn up there? Yes, I think it is. So once I've read Mistborn, I'm going to that. That's going to be my next one. Then September, of course, saw the release of, yes, Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. Well, I had to do it, didn't I? I had to do it because I've got all the others. I've read the other 4. I'm having a Sarah J Maas moment. I am now fully caught up with everything. So I read her A Court of Thorn and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury. Loved, thought they were grand, especially Mist and Fury. And then I went through her Throne of Glass series, which is just up here. And then this, on the 6th of September, this released. I haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to it. Quite nice and chunky. So that's a good rest. I'm going to enjoy this. And I can't go into the plot, of course, because you haven't read the other 4. It will mean nothing. She's an assassin. And she's grand. That's all you need to know. But I read this on the back. Contains mature content. Not suitable for younger readers. Now, none of the others have said that. So, I'm thinking a bit of sauce. That's what I'm thinking. So, it's not only is it going to be high fantasy, not only is it going to be assassins and murder and mayhem, but it could be a little steamy. I could be fanning myself. Yeah. So, there we go. Sarah J Maas. I want to read it soon because I don't want to watch, because other people have started already doing discussion videos and reviews of it, and I have deliberately gone in case I get spoiled. I mean, I'm not sure you could get really that spoiled with them, but I thought I don't want to, so okay. And then the last book I bought is Edna O'Brien's The Little Red Chairs. Now, I've seen this in quite a few shops. In some of our large supermarkets, in their book bit, I've seen it. And I kept reading the back. And I've never read any Edna O'Brien. But I thought this sounded quite good. So it says, When a man who calls himself a faith healer arrives in a small West Coast Irish village, the community is soon under the spell of this charismatic stranger from the Balkans. One woman in particular, Fidelma. Is that, am I saying that correctly? Fidelma McBride. Quite a nice name, that, isn't it? Becomes enthralled in a fatal attraction that leads to unimaginable consequences. Well, that's a challenge, isn't it? Unimaginable. I've got quite a good imagination, Edna, and I think I hear a gauntlet being thrown down there. Can you imagine? And I'm like, yep. I take up your gauntlet and I say, right, Edna, I accept, challenge accepted. But yeah, I thought that sounds quite interesting because there's so much, isn't there, about the kind of faith healers and what have you. Oh, I've just seen the time. I've gone on a bit. So yes, so there we go. I've just got some mega chunky books here, but I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled. I have already, as I said, read Casino Royale. I just cannot. I cannot resist Bond. You know me. Oh. And I'm actually reading at the moment that I'm 100 pages in. It's good. So yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Glorious. So thank you so much for everybody that subscribed. How lovely to see you. Don't be a stranger. Leave me a comment. I'll chat back. That'd be lovely. And tell me, are there any of these that catch your fancy? And have you read Empire of Storms? Or would the size of Way of Kings, the bargain of the month, put you off? It's lovely to see you, BookTube. Let's do this again. Bye.